right. Hello, all you beautiful, wonderful, amazing, spectacular tea people. I hope wherever in the world you are having an amazing, whatever time of the day it is for you today. What's going down today is I just got in a bunch of samples. So the wintertime samples from the higher elevations are starting to come in. And I also got this, which is very, very special one. This is the Chilai Black. Now, if you've ever had the Chilai Black, you know this is probably one of, if not the best black teas that you could ever possibly have. And I say that and I'm like, yeah, I sell it. Yeah, okay. It's true. It is true. There is nobody who is neutral on that black tea. Nobody says, oh, it's okay. In fact, I don't think I've ever heard of anybody having that tea and not absolutely loving it. And I've been out of last year's tea for a while. So now I'm getting in this year's tea. And so that's a good news for the people who enjoy this tea. Oops. Smells pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is, obviously I'm going to try this out and we'll talk about it. And I'm hoping that I can get some. Also today we're going to talk about news about next week. What's going on next week? And is it next week? Well, I guess about 10 days from now, give or take. I'm going to go up to Taipei and it's actually pretty funny. So I don't know if you guys have heard the story. There's a Mr. Chen. And Mr. Chen has some 100-year-old tea trees, and he's sort of a younger guy. Like he's not, I'd say he is below average age for most of the people that I buy tea from. So he's a younger guy, and he's really, 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 really good at what he does. And he does sort of the Dongding style teas. And anyways, I'll tell that story when we get to it. But I'm going to go up and see him. And he actually gave me a free ticket. So I've got a free VIP ticket to go to the, well, it's worth only about $5 American, I guess. But it's to go to the tea show up in Taipei in the next little while. And I'm quite looking forward to that. I think I'm going to have a lot of fun at that tea show. I always have fun at the tea shows, right? There's nothing like the tea shows are just fun. I always have fun at the tea shows. And so I'm going to be going up to that one. That one's from the 15th to the 18th. And I'm going to spend a lot of time. I'm going to ask him, say, listen, can I come really early one day and we'll just sit and we'll just drink your teas. But we'll talk about that in a minute. That is Mr. Chen. And I'm excited about that because, you know, he's got some really, really good stuff. And because this year, remember what's happened in Hualien this year. We had earthquakes. We've had 3 typhoons so far. The roads have just been completely destroyed getting to and from outside of this area. And so I've been, you know, my family, my wife and children have said, you don't leave. You stay here. You stay in Hualien. And yeah, it's a good place to stay. So I've stayed here. But so I haven't gone out and been able to go and see this guy over in Nantou, but I've been wanting to buy his teas. Like I've got this budget, and the budget is just sort of sitting there, and it's, you know, thousands of dollars of budget, and it's just sitting there. So when I go and see him, I'm going to buy a bunch of his teas, and you know what? I might throw them into the Discord. So I've set up the Discord, the RDT Club Discord, and I've set it up, and I'm probably in the next little while, sort of in the next. I don't know, probably in the next week or so, give or take, I'm going to start sending out invitations to people. So there will be invitations sent out to people for this Discord. And, you know, obviously there's the people, probably the people who usually watch these types of things, but also there's going to be sort of people that have spent a lot of money, right, that buy a lot of tea. So I'm going to send an email and say, you know, listen, if you want, you know, you supported the Mountain Stream Teas for so long. So send out these invites. We'll get it up. We'll build up the culture. We'll get the OGs going. and then I'll open it up to everybody. But not yet. So when that goes out, I'll do a live stream and we'll talk about it. And if you're interested in that type of stuff, we'll say, okay, jump in, send me a message and I'll send you the link to the Discord. And then we'll open it up to everybody after a little bit of time. Now, what do we have in front of me here? We have 3 teas. Now this one, you probably know this tea. This is the Chi Shan Black. We'll get to that in a second. These 2 are the Chi Shan Winter. Now, this garden and this fellow who does this tea is, I wish I had time to go up and visit him and spend more time with him. Now, his garden is, if you're looking at the mountains right behind me, just right there. Except there's literally no way to go there. Like literally no way to go there. I don't know if you can hear it. The girls beside me here, they're really happy. I don't know why they're so happy today. But because it's sort of a blistery, windy day, but they're pretty happy. I fed them some food yesterday. Maybe that's why. And I can't go. I can't go because behind me, the road to get there that goes through Chiroko Gorge is a wasteland, to put it in no uncertain terms. It's just a wasteland. It's terrifying. Right? It's terrifying. And so to go up there, you just can't. And so that means that, if here's Taiwan, I live right here. His tea garden is right here. It means I have to go like this and then like this to get to his tea garden. So instead of it taking like maybe 2 hours or 3 hours, well, depending on how the road is in the past, let's say 4 hours to get there. Now it's going to take me like 8 hours to drive there. And so I haven't been able to go up to that garden, although I really should just carve out some time and get up to that garden. Anyways, what's the point? Point is, it's actually, this guy's also a younger guy, and he's taking over from his father, who's recently passed, and he does the Chi Shan tea. So any Chi Shan teas on the site right now are all from him, and I'm so happy to be able to support him, support what he's doing, support how he's doing things. Sort of a smaller family. And so the Chi Shan Spring, the Chi Shan Fall, and obviously the black tea here. Now, I think I did a live stream with it. Yes, I think I did. Anyway, so the wintertime teas are starting to come in, and the highest elevation, so the Pear Mountain stuff, has already sort of come down, and people are sort of sampling it. I still haven't ordered that yet. I got to drink it one more time. But I'm hoping that this wintertime tea is of a little bit more of like a real wintertimey type of tea, because the Pear Mountain this year it's good for sure, but it doesn't have that real wintertime kick that a lot of times those types of teas, the wintertime teas, will have. And so I'm hoping that the Chi Shan this year has a wintertime pick. Now I'm looking at the tea right here, and I'm looking at it, and it's interesting in the sense that I think the weather was a little bit better when they were doing this. Remember, how does it work for the wintertime? The highest gets picked first, then it goes down, and then it goes down and down and down and down and down. So right now, I guess in some of the lower elevation areas, they're starting to pick, but a lot of them will pick in mid-November. But late October was where a lot of the really high elevation stuff was picked. Now, I misplaced my really good porcelain spoon, but that's okay. I'm just going to go back to the old school way of just sort of sipping from the bowls. And when you're sampling teas, when you're trying to get the teas to be really, really, when you're tea gambling, evaluating the teas, right, which I'm doing right now, one of the things you got to look for is how the leaves open up. Now, there's a bunch of different reasons which could stop the teas from opening up. But if you take a look at this, you can see here, this is your classic wintertime pick, right? So you got your classic wintertime pick, right? Just that little bit there. And then you got that. I talked about that on the last live stream if you're interested in that a lot more. You can see how the leaves have not opened up, right? So they haven't really opened up. Whereas this one over here, the leaves are a lot more opened up. And so when I'm looking at this, I can tell right away that I got to double check. I got to look closer into this day, because oftentimes when the leaves don't open up, that denotes more moisture. Right, so there's more moisture in there. So when you put hot water on it, it doesn't quite just go, like it doesn't have to go like this. That's too much. But if it goes like this, that's not enough. And when that's not enough, something happened there with the processing. And what I'm getting with this one, a little bit more vegetal. And it's not quite exactly what I want. Now you can see right there, I drank that really fast. The reason I drank it really fast is because I want to add more hot water to it to see what it does. All right, to see what it does. Now, this one here, this day, is sort of enhancing my fear that this year's wintertime pick for all over the island isn't as good as last year's. Last year's was, it was beautiful. Actually, I tried this guy's wintertime pick last year. I said, give it to me. He's like, it's sold out. Literally from him sending me the sample to me sampling it and phoning him up, a couple days, the whole thing sold out. So I didn't actually get any last year from this garden. So it makes me a little bit nervous now after having started sampling the teas. Now, I talked about this before. Why would the year not be as good, the vintage, sort of the 2024 vintage? Well, to get the best, the very best, you want dry, rain, but not too much rain, just enough rain. And then just before you pick, like 2 weeks before or a week before, you get some rain, and then it comes up, and then that's when you pick it. So dry, a little bit of rain, and then the tea leaves come up. What we got was rain, dry, rain. So we've had typhoons and all sorts of things going through the systems, the weather systems here. It's been a wet fall, right? So the high mountains, we've had like 2 typhoons. We've had all sorts of different things going on. So it's wet, dry, wet. And so what happens when that happens is it doesn't really affect the flavor of the tea in the sense of a negative way, as long as the weather was good weather when they were picking it. But what it does do is it sort of washes out the potency. So it washes out the potency of the tea, because the tea leaves grow up too fast. They get too much water, they're too happy, and then it comes up. Now, anyway, so stress is out. I won't go into all the details, but stress is out the tea plants, which gives us what we actually enjoy. So the more stressed out a tea plant is without dying, chances are that's going to give you some really good tea with a masterful production. An example would be the bug bites, right? We all love bug bites. Bug bites give us honey. Another one would be wild tea trees. So teas that are left in the wild, those are beautiful wild tea trees. They're going to give us more flavor, more depth, more stuff going on with those tea trees. They got more stress. And so if it's, and what we don't want is lots of agrochemicals that kill out all the kill all the bugs, and lots of fertilizers. That gives you a soulless, awful, shallow tea, right? So what you want is something way, way better than that, but the right amount of stress. And this one, we'll see, it's opening up now, right? So this is the second steep it's going through. It's opening up now, but I'm guessing that this one didn't get enough stress. So that's what's happening with this year's wintertime tea. But still buy whatever I get, right? Don't pass. Good. So, see what the aftertaste does with this one. Yep. I'm happy. That's what I was hoping. This one was a little bit washed out. We'll see what happens with the second steep. But this one has more of a stronger vegetal up front, more of a touch of the floral in there. but it's looking like the same thing that's happening with this one. This one is a little bit lighter, but it's got a better aftertaste, whereas this one, no, the aftertaste is coming out. Let's see, which one was picked first? So basically it's the same as the Père Masques. So this is picked first, this was picked second. And yep, this is a winner. I can get this one. Now, I usually would get probably a lot more. I'm not going to get as much as I usually do for the wintertime teas. But there's also the simple fact that, you know, if somebody is a person that I buy tea from, it means that I like them and I know them and I want to support them. And so even if it isn't like 100%, I'm still going to buy their tea. Right? I'm still going to buy their tea. And I might not buy as much, but, you know, of course I'm going to buy their tea. Of course. Right? Of course. So here we go. Second steep for this one. Yep. It's just washed out a little bit too much. Can I ask how far apart the harvest days were? Great question. And I apologize, I do not have the answer there. I didn't get, so some people give me the days, but this one, there's no days. As you can see, there is Dong 1 and Dong 2. So Dong, of course, being the character for wintertime. And so I do not know. I do not know. But it's a good question, right? So in general, though, the springtime teas in those types of areas, you're looking at 3 to 4 days of production. There's more. The wintertime teas, you're looking at 1 to 2 days of production, usually 2. Sometimes they can pull off a third if it's really, really good, but 2 days. And so how does it all happen? Well, you can imagine. There's the tea pickers, there's the tea masters, there's all there's the warehouses. It gets extraordinarily complicated. Think about like when I was going to school anyways, like a high school student schedule, right? So you got to be at school for 8 hours a day, but each student has different classes they have to take. So you can't do cross things. And you got to make sure that everybody's schedule gets there so everybody can be at the same place at the same time and blah, blah, blah. And so that's exactly what happens with the tea production. And so when you're looking at teas like this, they're not going to stretch it out. They're not going to be like, do it once here and then do it once there and then come back and do. No. They book out their time, and they usually do it about 3 months in advance. And they book out their time, and then they hire the workers, and they make sure that they have the factory ready to go and all of those things all at the same time. So my guess is there wouldn't be a day in between. Now, the only exception would be if there was an extreme weather event, maybe like a typhoon or something really weird like that. Then you might have something happen like that. But generally speaking, that doesn't happen. Generally speaking, that doesn't happen. So my guess is they would be a day apart, but I'm not 100% sure. So here we go. Let's try the second steep on this. Yep, I'll get number 2. And the second steep, there's more of the aftertaste. There's less of the vegetal, more of the sweetness and sort of the fruit flavor in there. But it's not quite as good as last year, right? It's not quite as good as last year. And it's by no means, like when I say it's not quite as good as last year, it's still good, right? It's still decent and still good. And it's not like they did anything wrong. It's just not the best year for wintertime high mountain teas. It's just not, unfortunately. But it was a good summer for high mountain oolongs, right? So the fall teas were beautiful this year. They weren't sort of exceptional, but they were good. They were good. And so I have no doubt that this is good as well. Oh, somebody just bought something right now. Thank you very much, CR. I appreciate your order greatly. Goes directly into my children's bellies. And actually, that might actually go into the chest to get new teas. Now, actually, what I should have done is I should have done last year's with this. It doesn't matter. Compare the two. Right? I don't have anything left from last year. Last year is impossible to get any more of. It's gone. So I'll just sample this one, see if it's good enough. That is fun. That is so much fun. Now, isn't that interesting? So we're talking about seasons, right? And seasonality and all the various things that happen with the seasons and seasonality. And I'm saying that, generally speaking, the higher mountain oolongs for this winter weren't the best. They're not terrible. They're not bad. It just all the weather didn't hit perfectly. But this is better than last year. This is better than last year. So last year's was like candy, right? It was so sweet. It was so fruity. It was candy. This year, it's floral candy. So last time just fruit candy. This one is fruit floral candy. This year's is better than last year's. Now, also too, I don't think it would be fair to mix them up, to compare them, because this has had just enough age where it's coming into its own, and it's really, really nice. Like that one there that I got a couple 100 grams left. That one though, last year's has had a year to age. And with these teas, it goes like this, right? You first pick it, it goes like, oh, it's a nice tea. And then it goes like this: first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, sixth year, seventh year, eighth year, ninth year, like that. All right. So with these really, really, really good high mountain teas, the curve sort of goes like this. And then it sort of goes off after about 5 years. And so the tea that's over there, it's probably going to taste better than this just because it got an extra year. But this is better than last year's. This tea is better than last year's. I'm going to get a bunch of it. I'm going to get an absolute truckload of this tea. So when you're looking at sort of the high mountain black teas, you sort of know the flavor characteristics. Hey, how's it going? And so if you have those flavor characteristics, you sort of know what I'm talking about. There's sweet malt and fruit, and it's recognizably a black tea, but it's not a black tea that's recognizable that you've ever had before, right? High mountain Taiwanese blacks are in a class of their own. If they're good, they're in a class of their own. There's nothing like it. Nothing. Truly nothing like it. And so this one last year just blew people's minds. I mean, there's very few people that didn't love this tea, and most people that bought it, they're like, wow, I've never had anything like that before. I would get messages like that all the time, which makes me happy. And this one is even better. So I would say it's what? 10% better? 15%? 15 to 20% better. There is a floral in this that was missing in that last one. And it's not a floral like a rose floral. It's literally like if you made rose candy or something like that. I joined late. Which high mountain are we talking about? Chile. On the website, will it be labeled as summer or fall? I don't think I'll label it as either. I'll just put when it was produced, which is August. So August would be technically in Taiwan, they call that fall. But most people in the world will call that summer, obviously. But they call that fall. Sort of August 1st. Well, actually, there's the Ghost Festival, things like that. Anyways, point is, it's like August becomes fall. Right? So August becomes fall. And so August becomes fall. And I don't think it actually matters. I'm just going to call it like Chile Black, August 2024. But there's only going to be one. There's only going to be one. And the thing is, the higher elevation black teas, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not so good. I'll probably get some. Actually, the Pear Mountain, it was okay this year, but he charcoal roasts his black tea, so it's like it's a little bit different. So that's like, anyways. If you've ever had, I had that on the site a couple years ago. I should get more. And I'm gonna get the charcoal roasted Pear Mountain for sure. Chile Shan. I forget which romanticization I used. I usually do CHI for Chile Shan. I think I'll place an order writing my tomorrow person. A note now. I don't get that one, but anyways, no worries. But this, I'll get this in. This will be released. They'll be see on the site in about a what? This will be on the site. Oh, I got to do that sale, right? So, anyways, it'll be on the site for the sale. I think I'll do 15% off this year, and I'll probably start it next weekend. Because I want to make sure that all the packages get in for Christmas. So, anyways, I'll look for it. This probably won't be in this weekend, but next weekend 100%. And this will be available on the site. And we'll start it off at 15% off. So I think that's the Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. And I'll probably start that for subscription newsletter folks like a week early. I've been very busy thanks to the amazing, spectacular people that support Mountain Stream Teas. I'm about to go to sleep. I have an order written on Notepad. Okay. That makes more sense. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. There's absolutely no reason you should be staying up watching some random guy talk to his phone and computer. Don't forget I'm on YouTube too. Phone and computer on actually I gotta move this. I got a bucket of jade. I use this for the typhoon. You can see here's a bucket of jade. But I use this to hold down the bee boxes during typhoons. This is, it's either worth nothing or worth thousands upon thousands of dollars, depending on your perspective. My wife thinks it's worth nothing. My son and I think it's worth thousands. But anyways, it works well holding down bee boxes during typhoons. Whatever. I sleep well. But yeah, this will be next week. This will be next week as well. Because it's already Thursday, right? So I'll order it today. I'll get it sort of early next week. But I'm super happy. This is better than last year. So last year's was super candy sweetness. This one is like even more. So actually, you know what I think I'm going to do? I was going to sort of tell the whole story about Mr. Chen today. I think what I'll do is I'll do that tomorrow. If I have time, I'll do another live stream and talk about that, or even closer to the trip. But basically, what we're looking at is a bunch of really, really amazingly high quality, clean charcoal roasted teas coming in over the next little while. And I'm pretty excited about it because I've been not sure if you got the update. Proposed at Michelle's tea house, and she said yes. Yes, yeah, I did. I think I saw that. I must have sent you congrats for that. But congrats, of course. That was a while ago, wasn't it? Anyways, hopefully everything is going smoothly, and you've got plans for the wedding and for the day you start having children, if that's what you're going to do. Just plan it and do it, because there's nothing better than having kids. But I won't say any more. Again, if that's in your plans. But yeah, there's going to be some really, really, really good teas coming in the next little while. Also, the Discord thing, just throwing it out there again, the Discord thing. I'm going to set myself a deadline for probably tonight and start sending out invitations to people and get people to join in, give feedback, and start building up the community. I want to have a space that is respectful discourse and where you can get access to some really, really, really good teas that are more expensive, but like just top of the line stuff. Going to bed. Okay. Yes. Go to sleep. Go to sleep for sure. Yes. So there we go. We got our teas. As soon as I get off this live stream, I'm going to order them. Any questions about anything for right now? Like I said, these two teas will be ordered. I'm going to probably brew up the Pear Mountain again one more time right now, order that again today. I waited until everything was done, making sure everything went smoothly. And so I'm going to start ordering tea now. And there'll be this tea, there'll be that tea. I don't think Alishan is done picking yet, but I should ask. Then there is the, oh yeah, I got to ask about, oh no. So anyways, the Firefly Alishan, the one of the most favorite teas, certainly one of my favorite teas. I think they were planning to pick during the typhoon. So the last typhoon that smacked us, I think they were planning to pick during the typhoon. So I got to get in touch with them. Oh, I sure hope I can get some of that tea, because they only pick it in wintertime now. They in the springtime they use all of their tea to do GABA tea, which fair enough. I also sell that and it's beautiful. But there will be a sale, sort of the Black Monday, Friday thing. There'll be 15% off of everything. There will be some that are even like 20% off. Actually, I might do tiers this time. Anyways, whatever. I'm going to do all that. But that will be probably next weekend. So around the 17th or 18th, I'll launch that sale, because I really want people to be able to buy tea for their friends and family if they want to do sort of Christmas presents and things like that. So I'm going to do that sale then, and probably have it run for like a week, a week and a half or something like that. That's going to be a busy week. I'm not complaining. Let's see. Still got fireworks. Yep, there we go. Still got fireworks on the YouTube. It was actually really easy to change on the phone, but anyways, that's okay. Okay. Random question. Do you scope out other Discord tea channels? And a cool idea for your own Discord. So there is like the Discord that's like the tea Discord. And I was sort of in there and interacted with some of the folks there a while ago, a long time ago, actually. But that was not sort of, I don't want to say anything bad about it. I mean, if that's your style, then that's a great spot to go. Certainly not my style. That's about it. So I haven't really gone into a lot of the tea Discords and things like that. Being a tea vendor is really tough for a lot of those things, because I started as just like a person who enjoyed tea. And then going into sort of the vendor space, there's a lot of really bad vendors. And I won't name names, and I won't ever do that, ever. But there's a lot of really, really nasty vendors. Like they're nasty. And so oftentimes in the communities where it's just tea people, like the tea Discord, I think it's just like Discord/tea, that one, for example, they're very, very suspicious of tea vendors with good reason, right? When I was there, and I wasn't even there for very long, I was just sort of lurking, and there was like some really nasty things that happened, like name calling and people stealing tea and money, and like I was just like, oh my god, what's going on? And then after that, I just sort of stepped back, and I was like, you know what, this isn't going to serve a decent purpose for me, right? It's just too dangerous, and so I sort of stayed away from that stuff. But now I've talked about it before, but I'm moving. It can get interesting. Yes, well, that's it, right? And if you don't have anything at stake, right? If you're just a random guy who likes tea and you're in there, you'd be like, ha ha ha, like it can be drama, right? But if you're a tea vendor, like, what do? Right? Do you say, actually, that person just lied, I was there yesterday and I know what he's talking about? Like, no, you can't, right? You can't do that. And so I just disengaged. But now, like I've been talking about it, right, and thinking about it, is I want to start up a space for people who really want to get into the really, really good stuff. If you want to get into the teas that are $1 a gram and are worth $1 a gram, that's the space that I want to build up, right? That's what I want to do. Oh, somebody just bought some tea. Thank you very much. Thank you for buying some tea. If you want to be on a Discord server and argue with people about what's good and bad, and then invite in vendors and then have fights and have drama, and then all the and then have all the political stuff in there too, like, no. Listen, I just want to have a space like a Discord server where it would be, in general, average patience, high to average IQ, patience, knowledge, experience, sort of things like that. Still be welcoming for the people that are just getting into tea, but people who would be like, yes, that is worth $1 a gram, or no, that is not worth $1 a gram. And I can back it up and talk about it. That's what I want to kind of do. I do feel it's tricky for vendors. Yeah, right. Absolutely. And it's really tricky for vendors, especially somebody like me, right? Who, I'm quite content to grow slowly, right? I'm quite content to just be like, to have, that, carve out that little piece of the pie, that's little tiny little piece like this big, and be like, okay, that's going to be my lifestyle and that's going to be my life, right? Because people are suspicious of that for good reason, right? For good reason. A small example, I would never, ever, ever put my children or my wife on social media to sell tea. Never. Right? And to me, that just is like gut-wrenchingly awful, right? Because it's the internet. Right? It's literally the internet, and it's full of horrible people and good people. But the horrible people are, generally speaking, the noisiest. And so I would never put my family on, like, never. It's a huge rule in the family: no face, right? No face on the screens. Anyways, see, even saying that, I'm just going to get myself into trouble. So let's do a Discord server, and let's get people who can have intelligent discourse, and those people will get access to teas that will be, sometimes I can only get like 500 grams of tea because that's all that's made, right? Like, Eugene, 600 grams of tea. That's it. That's all that's made. Or I might go to a place and be like, wow, this aged tea, how much of it is left? And they'll say, well, I've got some left, but I want to keep it for myself. I'll sell you like a kilogram of it, but I'm keeping the rest for myself. Well, how do I put that on the website? I can't, right? So, but I can put that in the Discord server, right? So I can say, okay, who wants it? Maybe only 5 people, 10 people want it, but they get access to it. And so that's what I'm going to do. And if people are interested in that, than better than last year. Better than last year. Yeah. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go. Actually, probably the two people that ordered. What I'm going to do right now. Boy, the girls are happy. I don't know if you can hear them, but they are happy. The sun just came out. And anyways, what I'm going to do is anybody who's ordered tea, your tea is going to be sent out today. And yeah, I've got to do another live stream. I'll probably do another live stream tomorrow, talking more about my plans and things that are coming up. But if you have questions about any of this stuff, let me know. Get in touch. Oftentimes, if you send me a DM and I don't get to it right away, then send it again. It's not because I'm doing it on purpose. Sometimes I just get busy. Emails as well. Thank you, everybody, so much for supporting Mountain Stream Teas, wherever you are in the world. And wherever you are in the world, I certainly hope you have an amazing morning, afternoon, evening, weekend, all that stuff. See you next live stream. Will samples of the Chi Lai Black be in recent orders? No, I just got this in today. But if you make an order or there has been an order in the last couple of minutes, then you write me a message in the next 10 minutes and say, I want to try it right now, but I'm going to order it. It'll be in the shop probably next week sometime. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next live stream.